Hi, welcome back to the Poly-Instrumentalist. My name is Jason Ford. Today I would like to talk about one of the products I received in my last video. Now I've installed this in 2 saxophones and I think it works really well. Now the saxophone I'm going to talk about today is this wonderful Kessler custom saxophone. It's a truly good saxophone. I like it a lot. But the problem I had with it, and still have with it, is that my low notes warble on this saxophone. And they do on a lot of saxophones. And I know it's an air issue, but being that I play so many different instruments, sometimes it's more prevalent in different brands or models, just due to the bend in the bow or the bow of the saxophone. And for a long time, I was using a cork. This one's nice and it's cool because it comes from the Oz Winery in Wamego, Kansas. But I would just drop it in here. Now that works very well and it stops the warble for the most part, but you could lose it, right? You could lose this little cork that you need. And I have done that in performances where it fell out and I'm like, I have to play low notes and I don't want it to warble or I won't hit those notes. So when I was ordering the Key Leaves products, I noticed that they had this. This is called the bow patch. Now I'm going to open it and show you. It's actually pretty cool. I definitely would recommend this to anyone having this problem. Now this is not a sponsored video, but it's still a very, very good product, okay? So a good product is a good product, right? So it is, if we look at it, you can see, it's just a little patch that goes. It does have some, a little circle there with an adhesive. It's like that alien tape adhesive. It works really well. You do have to clean it before you put it in there, but it's easy. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to put this on the saxophone right now. Now I want to play a little bit for you so you can hear my warble. I know it's not pleasant, and I don't like to warble, but many of us do, and we don't know how to fix it, or our air is not right, or something, or we just don't have the time because we play so many different instruments like I do. Our focus is not really on that, and we don't want it to happen. So I have taken my cork out so you won't hear it. It's over here. I'm just gonna play the lower notes on the saxophone on my alto here, and you can see. See, it creates a nice warble sound. It kind of, my airstream was pretty decent, and then it like, it went to something awful, right? So, right, it was nice there, but I'm not consistent with it. I know that. I have to practice with it, right? But sometimes I don't have time based on the instruments I play. But the cork really helped me to solve that problem of the warble I was having, right? So now, what I'm going to show you is how to install this bow patch on your saxophone. It's quite easy, and it won't fall out. And you don't have to worry about that when you're on a gig, losing that cork and not being able to play those notes. And how incredible it is, and how incredible it changes your sound and makes it a little easier to actually play those low notes, and so you can focus on really something else. So let's get to it. Let's install this. Now I'm going to tell you the way that the manufacturer says to install it, and I think it's a fine method, but I think this key works better to do it. Okay, I'm going to readjust my camera and show you my saxophone. You will need a flathead screwdriver. That's the only thing you will need, okay? Or maybe something to hold those screws because they can go flying, which I've noticed. Okay, so let me adjust my camera. We're gonna face down, you're gonna face down. Now, the manufacturer of the product suggests you use this key. Now, I think that's okay, but I used this key right here, right? The C key, right? C key, right? It was so much easier to do and make sure that it was in the actual bow of my saxophone, right? So I could use it, right? But what I did, what you have to do is you have to take off this guard. Okay, that's the first thing you have to do. So let's take off. I'll set my there, and then our last one right here. Well, I'll set those over there. Okay. Then I'll remove this. Now, it's some saxophones, this one doesn't do it as much. My other saxophone, these keys are combined. So it comes up more. But you should be able to do it. And the tension spring just left. So that's okay. You'll still be able to get it down in the hole, right? You can actually, if you want to take the time, you can actually just remove this key also, right? And reinstall it. You might have to remove that one. That's probably the basis of why they chose this key. But I think this key, in my opinion, which is not the manufacturer's opinion, works better to install this bow patch. Okay? So, what we need to start off with, and it's nice because they give you a couple of wipes to wipe it with and an extra patch for it if you need to clean it out or it falls out or something, which I don't think it should do. Okay, so I'll put this in there and then just get it by the bow. Right. Okay, make sure it's nice and clean, right? Which just can be a little cumbersome, even without the key in place. So just remember that. Now we'll just take a minute and we'll let it dry. It won't take that long to dry. Okay, and then we'll grab our bow patch, and then we can take this little piece off right here, which sometimes they've been fussy, but that's okay. You can use the small screwdriver to get started. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's nice that this thing does flex. It's going to fit in the hole just fine, right? There's, from what I've seen, it's pretty even, so you don't have to worry about like which way to face it when you actually get it into the saxophone. So that's nice. If you drop it, which I did with my other saxophone, well, the nice thing is that and you can do it like that too, where you can just like lift it up right there. And so I put it in, and I can feel with my finger that the bow patch is in. Now, it's an odd angle, and I apologize. And you probably can't even really see it in there, but it's definitely in there. Okay, so it's in there. And now we can just take the guard and put the guard back on. Okay, we can put our guard back on, which on this saxophone, it's pretty simple. Just line up your holes and put it back in there. Okay. Now, while you're doing this, if the spring does come loose, you need to make sure your spring for your key is back on. Okay. It really doesn't take that long to install this, and I think that it's a wonderful invention, and it's a wonderful thing to have on your saxophone if you're having that warbling problem, and you want something a little bit more permanent, more steady. Okay, so now all I have to do is put the spring back on my key, and I'm all ready to go. That's how long it took, okay? You can see it's not falling out. If you can see down the, I know it's kind of dark and I don't have a light in here to show you, but there's nothing coming out of the saxophone. It's on there, right? It's in there. It can take some jostling around in a case or something like that. So now, let me see if it was truly effective, because that's the real point, right? Is to lose the warble in your sound through ease. Let me put back on my neck and just play a little. It does take some getting used to. I have a little bit of warble left. But it's so much better than it was before. It's so much easier because now that air is headed in a different direction. Where I couldn't play that easily before, right? I would have to, the adjustment is less than I would have to do. It's, I guess you could call it a cheat if you wanted to, but I don't think it's really cheating, right? So I really like this product. I think it's a great product for saxophonists who have the problem with a low note warble, right? And it makes your instrument sound good. If you watch this all the way through, thank you so much. Please subscribe. I'll try to have more and more videos as I get along. I try to do these to where I'm not paid to say what I feel. It's just an opinion that is based on if I think this is useful or not. So thank you once again for watching The Poly Instrumentalist, and I've been Jason Ford.